So this is a new issue around uh kind of like the Python version. I don't remember, but I as far as I know we had at least 3.8. So let me see.
I mean, is he talking about the ready-made Elyra images?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
I
I,
thought
I
they are
can
pretty
take
up to date, yeah.
I can take a look at later.
Okay.
Uh let me put question here. Current. Yeah, the next one, this is old. We discussed it the last time. We need to figure out. So basically, I think we'll start having issues with our Docker, read the docs build on January 31st. I think we need to update that. Um, and this one is me. So I think that's the only recent issue. Let's take a look at the pull requests.
Okay. What's the reason for the reader docs problem? Is some version outdated or?
Now there is a change on how things needs to be stored. We are using the old way. We need to use the new way. So we,
Okay.
we we need to have a secret and configure that secret. That's mostly what it is. There are steps here, and I think this is Kevin. I think he used to be with IBM. He was helping EG with Conductor, and now he's still around, I guess.
Okay. I mean, that sounds not too complex if you can just assign it to me.
Yeah, just
If it makes sense, no.
yeah, no. If you are not gonna work, just remove then your name because it,
Do not block it, kind of.
yeah. So I think the airflow we are still working on the sort of like a parsing and discovering of the codes and stuff for the custom components. Um, yeah, I think there is. These are all old ones from bumping the dependencies. Most of these dependencies are being taken care of with the Jupyter Lab update. So that's why I put kind of like a needs discussion here. So we'll probably
Okay.
once we
I
do
mean,
the
are
Jupyter,
you joining the next call as well with the two Arcos
I
students?
I I can join at least for a part of it. So
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
yeah.
Okay. Just for the others, we have a front end call right after this call. So two volunteers from the Arcos University
Is it gonna
are
be the
helping.
is it gonna be the same WebEx as yours?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think I saw an email from you. I think you have a PR here, right?
I just updated the
Well,
failing one.
yeah, you probably, yeah, you need to sign your commit. You need to do commit dash S.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll
And
do that.
yeah, once you do that, this will go away and then I can merge.
Okay. I just updated the location for the community corner and
Yeah,
the
I know.
uh,
Commit dash A dash S.
okay.
And yeah, Friday, 8:30 Pacific. Yeah, I can approve, but he will not be able to do anything until this is okay. So
Hmm? Okay. Thanks.
I think that's most of it. I mean, any other questions or anything people want to bring up?
So, Noel, Italo, any comments?
Yeah, well, I'm showing an IBM internal Shamstat to open source, and this was one of the feature projects. So yeah, I think during the next 4 weeks, I think the goal of the project is to have some PR merged. So I feel like this was the closest to home. So yeah, just looking to what can be done in terms of contribution. I must say that I'm not a UI person, so yeah,
Okay.
more on the
But I think you're fluent in Python and all that backend stuff, I guess.
yeah, Python, Kubernetes, all that stuff. I feel like
Okay.
but not so much on the front end side. Actually, I use Jupyter widgets and stuff like that when if I have to do any UI. So
Okay.
yeah, try to hide away from those things.
I still love those. I mean, it's
Yeah.
how it should be. No, you have only front end, back end code and only components and a clear model of notification and event handlers and yeah. Anyway, okay. I mean, we could go over the issues and search something for you now, if that makes sense, or we can
Yeah.
also take it offline. So, Luciano, if you have
Yeah.
something in mind for a motivated Python backend person.
Yeah, I believe I do. Let me see here.
Just added a new issue, but it's documentation.
I can also write down Markdown or restart with text, but yeah, I would also like to touch some code.
I think if you have time to help with this one, I think there is a sort of like someone is started working on this, but it didn't go through the end. But this is and I understand you said backend, so we can if we can have a solid backend, we can deal with the UI later on. But this is to enable scheduling the notebooks. Today,
Okay.
today if you submit, it runs only once. It's kind of like a just put to the queue to run that right now. It's either a
Okay.
notebook or a pipeline. I think most of the folks, once they have a pipeline or they have a notebook that work, they probably want to schedule. Let me schedule this to run on Airflow every hour or every day or something. So what we were
Okay.
thinking was, if you know Chrome, sorry,
Yep.
just use the same kind of like dates, kind of like a known once hourly, and kind of like in the same format. Um,
Okay.
and based on that, just there are APIs and there are ways to just set the recurring. Um, you probably can. So ideally, it would be good if we could do for both KFP and Airflow. Uh,
Okay.
but if you do for one, uh, eh, the max that you can do, it will be helpful for us to start going to this. And I think once we have the APIs, we can get help on the UI side. The UI side is mostly probably adding a field or so to be able to do that schedule.
Sounds good. And
So this
so
is 471.
yeah, let me assign myself there.
If you can't, let me know and I can get you to be able to do that.
I come back, Romeo. Yeah.
Good.
W-
Then
What is, sorry, 1 second
yeah,
before we, uh,
One.
what is
Little
your
okay.
Git, uh, GitHub
My
name?
handle. Yes, it is D3FO.
D3FO?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh,
Not
wait,
that
wait.
one.
No? Okay, sorry.
Look for my name actually. Let's see if we can do.
Uh,
Yeah. Really, it'll find my name. It's if you is D3F0. Sorry, D3F0. Sorry, D
D3,
capital D F0.
D3F
0.
0?
Yes. Let's see.
This,
What's
this one?
interesting. Yeah, that one. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same picture I have in WebEx. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
so
it.
are you a brother of C3PO?
That was a joke because I usually my last name is DeFoss, but yeah, I just because that was already used in most platforms, I had to, yeah, kind of a 3PO of sorts. Yeah.
Let me approve. And you should be able to assign into things, so better now.
Just assign this. Okay, let me refresh. I'll refresh.
Oh,
No one assign.
you might need to accept the invitation on your email.
Okay, but let me do it from my phone because I don't have my email in my work laptop.
And I think I said force.
Yes, Gmail, Shine, Elyra, AI, and Shine. Follow. Okay, let me refresh now. Okay, you are now a member of Elyra AI Toolkit. Now, still don't see, when I see no one is assigned, I don't see any gear or cog.
Just click assignees or assign yourself.
Ah, I see it now. Oh, no. Okay. Yes, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's there now.
Perfect. Good. I think I'm gonna focus on KFP because of I feel closer, but I can take a look at. I never like. I have bad experiences with Airflow. I tried to deploy Airflow manually, and it was really a pain. So it has some scars. So let me
I
quickly
mean, we can force convince Sven to take care of Airflow when he finished his other pull request. Question, Kubeflow has a built-in scheduler. I think it would make sense if you just use that one, no? So actually
for sure.
the cron format and make use of the Kubeflow scheduler.
Yep.
Okay, good.
I will.
Perfect.
So the Jupyter scheduler schedule notebooks and not pipelines. So we can have a discussion there to what makes sense. But yeah, you can use them as an inspiration. I think they use the same thing on the UI. So yeah, you can also use this PR as an inspiration, and you can ping us and we can have discussions anytime you need help.
Sounds great.
By the way, ping us means we have a Elyra Slack. I can forward you invite later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
Okay. And question about your comment, Luciano, you said schedule notebooks. Aren't notebooks anyway then encapsulated into one stage Kubeflow pipeline?
Yes, but when you said notebook scheduler, there is the notebook, Jupyter Notebook 4 has a way to do scheduling of a notebook. That was kind of like done by the guys on Amazon to schedule on the Amazon stuff. So there is a new thing, so I just got confused with that. But yeah, it's in the context of uh, Elyra. So we have the ability to run notebooks, we have the ability to run pipelines, and both sort of like it's either one pipeline with one node or it's a pipeline with multiple nodes. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
When you mentioned Amazon, you meant like something to schedule notebooks in SageMaker, for example, or something particular to Jupyter?
It's from Notebook, and I think they have a default that goes to something. Well, not SageMaker, but I think let me share my screen again. Let
Maybe
me
Or
Fargate or
email?
some other container service.
EMR? No. Glue?
Jupyter
I don't know.
Notebook. So they have a create a notebook job, and I think by default it doesn't have. Let me see. Yeah, you need to plug a backend, but
Okay.
like the run now or run on, so the UI, it's something that we can probably get inspired by because it's exactly what we were thinking about.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
notebook shows. Okay.
they do all of this, but you need to write sort of like a pluggable, or you need to have something that supports running the notebook. So
I see. So in the context of Elyra, I'm not super familiarized with Elyra, but that notebook will be running as some Docker container, either well or not. In Airflow, I guess it's going to be part of the Docker image that
so
Airflow has as a worker.
to certain extent, you don't care, because I think
Okay.
what really happens is we call the KFP APIs and we say run. With your changes, we're gonna call the KFP API and say run on this schedule.
Okay.
And everything under the covers is done because we delegate to KFP to run. So it seems that it's a big change, but it's basically flowing uh, some details or additional parameters to the API. So it shouldn't be that hard. And
Okay.
that's why I was thinking that even if you have some issues or bad experience in the past with Airflow, it should be sort of mostly passing additional passing additional
Yeah.
parameters. So it shouldn't be that big of a kind of like a problem or something. I think the issue might be deploying or getting a test environment.
Yeah.
Um,
How do you go
but I
about
think
that with AFP? Do you have like a cluster you use for testing? Is GitHub
so.
Actions?
We used to have uh, a documentation here that says how to do like a quick install.
Mm-hmm.
Deploying, yeah. So we have this that uses Docker and stuff. So I'm not sure if it's up to date with the most recent versions, but if you think that they need additional changes here, you can send a PR on the documentation as well. But I think this is a good start for you.
Okay, good. Romeo, are you familiarized with this?
To a certain
Running.
extent. So the
You,
gurus here in the call are Carla and Luciano, but I
you
think
can
I can survive.
you can ping us on Slack, and
Okay,
we'll help you. Carla can probably help better than me on the UI side, but we'll get you there.
so okay, good.
Okay.
good. Okay, the instructions are for Docker desktop, which is banned in IBM. So I think I tried
Yeah,
to make it fun in
it's the same with me.
Every
So
Rancher. Yeah,
just replace Docker to
yeah,
whatever you are able to use.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
good. Anything else from anybody? Otherwise, I have a little thing as well.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just thinking out loudly, but it's on my list since quite a while. I'm thinking of providing another runtime, especially for local execution. So I'm using local execution a lot for testing, debugging, and development of flows. And there's two things which bothers me a bit. First is we are using Papermill, and Papermill actually modifies the notebooks and adds all the errors into the notebook, which makes it sometimes hard and it messes up with Git sync. And the other thing is you don't have any formal progress bar, and it's just a bunch of standard out lines you see in the console. So I was thinking for the local execution, I want to provide a second runtime based on CWL, Common Workflow Language, which has the advantage that you have a lot of tooling and different platforms, even local ones where you can run your workflows on. So there's a standard reference implementation of CWL, which is called CWL tool. It's a pip install. And my idea was to actually have a, I don't know how you called it in Elyra. I guess it's a parser or the component which translates from the Elyra specific JSON of the graph into an engine specific YAML or JSON. In Claimed we call it compiler, but I think you have a different name. And I want to provide such component which then translates from this Elyra JSON to CWL, which is basically YAML. And last week or the week before, Sven actually gave us a little introduction on how he thinks custom runtimes are implemented. And I think I will just start from there and maybe then report progress and ask if I'm stuck. But the thing is, I'm just keen to know about your thoughts, if that is a stupid idea or if it makes sense in your opinion.
So Romeo, I think the good thing is runtimes are pluggable. So I think the idea is we can plug any runtimes into Elyra. So I think it's fine to do that. I the only thing I would say is not to call local, just call the whatever. What is the name you mentioned? The
CWL, yeah, common
Yeah.
workflow language.
So just call it CWL or something, and um, once it's working and everything, we can decide if we just merge into Elyra as like a third runtime or we do anything different. The question is, what is so like Kubeflow or Airflow? We all integrated with like a runtime that actually runs the workflow. How does the CWL or is it just running in itself, or does it support Docker? What are the
Aha, yeah, okay. So it does everything. So first of all, like in KFP, you have components. They are called tasks, which is basically also a YAML file. So you could have something like, in theory, custom runtime specific editors like we have for Airflow or Kubeflow. But obviously you can also just drag and drop like on a generic editor. And then what you have is you have the workflow description, which is also YAML, and that can get executed by different engines. And the standard implementation or the reference implementation is CWL tool. And CWL tool supports either directly calling a command line. So for example, IPython space and the notebook, or Python space and the Python script, or it also supports the Dockerized version. And the question is, where do the Dockerized versions of the task come from? One option would be to use Claimed, because that's already implemented in Claimed. So in theory, Elyra can import the claimed library and create Docker containers on the fly. But I'm not sure if that is like things too complex. But in theory, we can run then a containerized workflow on a single machine, and that's then very, very close to actual kubeflow or airflow, containerized kubeflow or airflow implementation.
I see. What I'm trying to figure out is like, is this meant for enterprise or prototype, in the sense that w- w- when you're doing Kubeflow or Airflow, you can, for example, have a deployment on a cloud that distribute and give the resources that is needed, while locally is really kind of like, as you're saying, kind of like a test bed, like, let's make sure this is working and stuff. So I just wanted to have an idea of that. It seems that by default runs sort of in local, but you can sort of, if there is a runtime that supports that, you can use that in that runtime.
Yeah. I mean, it's not meant for super hardcore production. It's more meant for development and for scientific workflows. So CWL, so there are two tools which are used widely in the scientific community, that's CWL and SnakeMake, and those are all meant to kind of integrate scientific data and not, I don't know, the latest and greatest banking and customer information.
I get some folks at work saying, I'm just doing some scientific notebooks, and they require like 300, 400 nodes. It depends on
I see.
the
Okay.
what you mean by scientific, but yeah. Okay,
Mm,
yeah, I just go ahead. I
okay.
think it's gonna be a good exercise for anything that is not pluggable. I think we did a probably couple of experiments already. I think I had a implementation of a runtime, and we saw a couple of items that were uh, needs to be a little bit more flexible. I think we fixed a few. I don't think not 100%. So it will be good to um, get those reviewed again, and make sure we get the right flexibility there. But yeah, just
Okay. Perfect.
eh,
Okay. Yeah, and maybe just to add to this scientific and cluster size, the largest clusters we have are basically running on IBM Spectrum LSF and on Slurm. So that's another thing I need to make sure we can also use Elyra for now. So because the Kubernetes clusters at the moment are smaller than what we have on LSF and on Slurm.
okay. Yeah, hey, let's get started.
Mhm.
Free to ask questions, and just
Okay,
uh
I'll give it a
it's pluggable, so it's fine. Yeah.
Mhm. Good, perfect. So we have somebody new. So I mean that maybe kind of officially concludes the claimed Elyra community call, and now we just move into the Elyra front end call without any further ado. Welcome, Kai. So Kai is one of the two students volunteering for the LSL Center of Open Source from New York, I guess, and they have been convinced to work on two pressing issues. One is the Jupyter 4 migration, and one is just bumping up the version of Elyra Canvas, the library powering powering the pipeline editor. So, and I think I have someone else waiting in the lobby. 1 second. Get in. So, and I think they just wanted to ask Carla how to set up a development environment to get started with Elyra front-end development. I don't know if that is something Carla can show them.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, I haven't built this project in a while. So I have been trying to do that today, and it's not working for me. And it's okay if it doesn't work for you on the first try as well. So first of all, I opened an issue in Elyra because as I was looking for the contributing documentation, because I know there is a document that goes step by step on the development workflow. And if you don't have access to it, I can get it for you and we can go from there. But basically, from the Elyra README, there is a contributing documentation, and then if you go there and you click the contributing doc, it's not working. So that's one issue, and it's open for grabs. It's a documentation fix. I just need to fix the link to the right. Uh, yeah. Oops.
Somebody already asked it to get a sign. I just did so.
Okay.
And
So
I'm sharing my screen. Feel free to grab it. But I'm trying to go to where you're talking about. So
yes. So that's the most useful documentation for developers. It walks you through the development workflow, everything you need to install, and it goes like step by step. If you just follow these steps in order, uh, and yeah, first you're gonna install everything. And so when you get to build, uh, that's the main point where we're gonna build Elyra. So with make, clean, install. And first, before getting to that, something is like might change from environment to environment depending on what operating system you're in. So
so let me interrupt you right there. So you- we haven't been no one so far have been able to use Windows to develop Elyra. So if you're trying Windows, maybe get a virtual machine on Linux or something, and it will work on Linux for sure, on like Linux, Mac, and all of that. But Windows, it's your kind of like on your own risk.
Yeah, I'm currently using WSL and it's working fine, but I was able to install most of the things that was required, but I just have some questions about the extension migration guide. Is it necessary to install the copiers and stuff?
Extension migration guide, what? I think that was uh when we were doing from 2 to 3. So is it on this page? Where is I don't think you need to do anything related to extension migration. So
I mean, there's an extension migration guide external, from the Jupyter community. I think they're referring to that one.
oh, let me see. Jupyter Lab for okay, so I think one thing that you will have to do is to change yarn. So I think Jupyter Lab 3 uses yarn 1.2 and Jupyter Lab 4 uses yarn 3.5. So what I actually have for that, uh, I have this two thing here. So basically, core pack prepare yarn and core pack prepare yarn 3.5. So this allows me to go like back and forth. So basically, I put an alias and I do yarn 1.2 and yarn 3.5. Other than that, you might need to have a newer version of a node. And are you using a Mac?
Oh, yeah, I'm using a Mac, so
I-
I'm
i-
using
Is
Windows, but I have WSL, which is where I'm
is it
developing.
Intel or MX?
Intel.
Okay, then you should be good. I think if it's a M, you have to install a couple of other things. But yeah, just I think the only thing that you need to do is the yarn thing. Other than that is mostly than figuring out this kind of stuff. To tell you the truth, I think most of this and most of the dependencies are taken care. I think the issue is with some of the update dependencies. Um, things changed a lot. Like some dependencies they go from like one to like four, and then it's a different API or something like that. So I think it's mostly around that. Uh, if you have specific questions that you're having, I'm help to try to answer, but also you can ping on Slack anytime, and I can I usually at least couple of days, couple of times a day, I try to look into anything there.
I was looking at the extension migration guide for 3.x to 4.x.
Okay.
It tells you to conda install .c conda forge Jupyter Lab for copier 8. Is that would that be necessary for this upgrading dependencies thing?
Mm, I don't remember doing that. Let me give me 1 second. Let me check my environment.
I can see that command specifying copyright. I don't know if, I mean, I would just do it just in case, but
Y- Yeah, let me give you a more generic answer. I- If you will see things breaking if you're missing a dependency or something. So uh, if this is telling you to do, just go and try doing. But otherwise, if you see that, oh, after I did that, something else is start going wrong, just remove that. But um, yeah, I would do that part, which is generic and it's just a dependency, so it's very easy for you to add or remove later on. I think the other thing with this JLPM, sometimes I have success with those. Sometimes I I just feel more comfortable with some of the yarn stuff. So it goes on your preference. GLPM is sort of just a wrapper for yarn, and most of the things that you can do with that you can do with yarn as well. So if you're familiar with yarn, otherwise JLPM and the examples or commands that they do should be helpful. Yeah. Any other specific questions I can try to answer?
Um, so so let's say you make a change to the dependencies, right? How would you test it? Would you just run the integration and unit test to test whether the dependency is upgraded? I know you have to upgrade all the dependencies for the project to build. So,
So so right now I think we are in a good state because most of the issues are build breakages. So you try to build and it's gonna fail, and we just need to fix those. And then we're gonna go into a test mode. So I think if you open, so the goal is for you to start. So you don't need to start from scratch. You just need to check out the PR that we have. Um, on that PR, a lot of the dependencies and everything are done, and I was trying to compile module by module. I think I have a few that got properly compiled, and then I'm stuck going to the next one. So that's mostly what you guys gonna do. Just try to do a make clean install there, and you will see, oh, it's breaking on this module. Let me fix this, and then you try. And if you start making progress, let's say you get a new module to build, push a new commit to that PR, and so that is easy. You don't once we get everything compiling, then yeah, we're gonna test, make sure the tests are running. The good thing is once you push a PR, the automated test will run. The backend, I think they are all passing, and because the modules that are broken are the UI modules, some of the UI tests are not passing. So I think we are good with the backend. It's mostly just I think 1/3 of the modules on the UI are okay, the 2/3 are not. So we just need to go through those.
Do you have a link to the PR, the one that, yeah.
Yeah, so going back to Elyra, I think if you go to pull requests, you're gonna see this one. And I think if you go to Elyra and you go to pipeline editor, there is this one. So let me put into the chat here. This is the pipeline editor one. And this is the so you will see that for example, most of the tests are passing, and then we'll start seeing issues when you get to the UI. I don't know why the cache, but yeah, you can. Yeah, I can help take a look at that. But then you will see very clearly when you try to run the build locally that it starts failing on specific UI modules, and we just need to go through those. So maybe a good goal is if you guys could at least try to be on a path where you can build and see the failures. Um, and once you're there, if you have issues getting to that level, then me and Carla can help. But otherwise, let's try to get that in the next. Well, I was gonna say couple days, but it's Friday already, so let's try to get to that path for early next week, and feel free to ask our questions on the Slack.
So to clarify that goal, do you mean say like next week the goal would be to get the build to run no errors? Is that a good?
Who run on their laptops and provide the same errors that we are seeing. Yes.
Okay. It,
I think because they are still setting up the environment, I think that can be a good next step. And then after that, let's say you get that going on Monday, the next step would be okay, let's try to get the module that is trailing to compile and build well. And then we go to the next one. So I think that's probably the way to move it to the next steps in the next kind of like a couple of weeks.
yeah.
So in order to see the tests that are failed, you just run make test UI unit, right?
You can just do make a clean build.
Okay. Because when I was setting up the environment, I saw a whole bunch of errors with the UI. So I don't know if that's the proper errors I'm seeing.
That is probably right. So
What?
I think the best option either you can share a screen, or you can paste some of these into Slack, and I can run my build a little bit later after my next meeting, and I can make sure we are seeing the same issue.
Okay, so wait, can I try sharing my screen
Yeah,
currently?
go ahead.
Okay.
What I am experiencing, I'm also new to this. when I build, I get like mostly errors, like a lot of it, a lot of warnings actually. So sorry, not errors, mostly warnings in all of the packages. And errors, I have to go like through the logs and see which ones are actually giving errors. And maybe if you can, I don't know, I wouldn't touch the make file, but there is you can just isolate the packages. So like you build
Y-
one at a
Yeah,
time or something.
yeah, that is a good option as well. I think that's sort of what I was doing, uh, to try to fix a specific package because then the build is a lot quicker. So you will see, let's say we have package A, B, and C. You see that B is failing. Go into packages slash B and try to do like a TSC or some specific npm command to build, and you will see the direct issues, and you can go just on the scope of that module. That is a good uh, kind of like a optimization path.
Okay, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So the command you said to run was make test build.
No, just make clean build or just make build.
Okay. Does it usually take a long time to run?
Let me while you try there, I'm gonna look into my as well just to.
It is low
Yeah, it is slow, but
because yeah, there's too many packages.
yeah, that's the thing. It's just trying to remove some files, so it's not even started the build.
Yeah, it's doing the clean part first and then building.
Is this running on your local machine?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Didn't take that long for the clean, I guess. I don't know.
Depends on
Oh, where
you. You, you were running on a OneDrive. It's gonna take a little bit. Probably because the file system is remote. Uh, it, particularly removing the node modules is gonna remove tons of small files. That might be why it's a little bit slow.
Should I just kill the process and do make build?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, the rule to make target.
Just to make install.
I guess we do have installation commands for specific packages, so you don't have to do it all, or like for dev you have to build all of it and manually like comment the ones you don't want to? Luciano, I don't know.
Uh, you probably know some tricks that I don't know on the UI side. I each of the packages have like a package JSON that specify like some scripts. I think what I was doing was, but that is not with make. You have to do like a npm or yarn to access those. That's what I was doing, but I'm not a UI expert, so you better know. You might know better things than I do.
Because the command install in make equals package UI install
Yeah, but
server and check
oh, I see
install.
what you're saying. But the first time, because like it needs to install the backend and stuff, so I think at least you should do once, and then yeah, you can go to specific ones uh, later on, or once you're starting to make progress. While we wait yours, let me
Yeah.
try to share mine just for a second. Uh, and I have only a few minutes, so so it's building. You see, it's gonna start going to the. So you see, it built a few and it didn't build all because it's already failed. So I think what I was doing. Let me see if I go up here, I will start seeing components failing. It's been. You see like pipeline editor. So I think that's where I was trying to build a new pipeline editor to be able to make it part here, to be able to come here. I think when we do, I think you can do a make install here. and make dev link. And this should make things a little bit better here.
Can you remind me what make dev link does? It links pipeline editor to Elyra.
Yeah,
Build.
so pipeline editor, Elyra has a released version that it tries to use. So the released version is gonna have all the old dependencies. The dev link links the one that you just built here to Elyra. But then I think the idea is you can go to let's say cd packet packages. You will see a bunch of things here. I think I was on the UI components as well. And if you go into package.json, you have build, and build is just doing TSC or something. But I think you can do yarn or npm run build or TSC. So you start seeing some of the errors or some of the things that are happening, and we just need to go to some of this. So this might be something that changed in in Jupyter Lab. So we might need to do some of the import adjustments and things like that. But these are the kind of things. So it's gonna be very explicit what is erroring and what needs to be fixed. Is not something like weird as, oh, there is a test case error and you need to then understand what is going on internally. It's really like a lot of things changed. The upgrades to even like the TypeScript version and stuff. So we might just need to do some adjustments. Um, and yeah, and those are mostly what needs to be done to make some progress. I have to go to a different meeting, but I can be on Slack and Carla can help you more if you guys have more time now. So just reach out to me
I
later on.
also, yeah, I also have to leave. But you can reach us or just
Yeah.
maybe tag us on the PR on or yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys on Slack or later. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, so.